Greetings, this is Fashaya of Odoyale Wellness. I get to say that now. Okay, so I wanted to come to y'all. Hold on, I gotta get my camera straight. I want to come to y'all to discuss a topic that I don't think is taboo, but it's not discussed very often. And that is yoga being for white people. When I started this journey, when I was just taking yoga classes, nobody really said anything. But then when I decided I want to go, get certified, then of course it became this huge deal. And I was really excited and everything. And I had some pretty interesting reactions from some people. Most of the people in my inner circle are very supportive, as they normally are with most of my little adventures. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm on the couch and I'm trying to get comfortable. But I had some very strange reactions. Some people told me that yoga was for white people. Black people don't do yoga. And I also got like laughter. Like I actually had a couple of people laugh at me like I just told a joke. And so I wanted to address that now. First of all, yoga comes from a people that are of color. So that kind of debunks that whole thing, from the beginning. But the other thing is that since it's come to America, like so many other things, it came here with the best of intentions, I believe. But then it kind of got taken over by a lot of times the elite, the well-to-do, the commonly accepted people that fulfill the commonly accepted view of beauty. So a lot of times when you look in the yoga journal magazines, which I like the magazine, but I can honestly say I never see anybody who looks like me. I never see anybody with any color to their skin, any locks or afros or anything like that on a regular basis. I rarely see, I don't think I've ever seen anybody have fat rolls or saggy boobs or any of that. And so if you were to look at those images, you would not feel as if you belong. You would not feel as if you could be a part of a yoga class. When I went to my first yoga class, I was indeed the fattest, blackest thing in the class. And when I took my yoga teacher training, among my fellow students, I was the oldest, fattest, blackest person in the class. And some people, you can tell that does not matter. When I was taking the yoga classes at a studio, I was very aware of it a lot of the time. Not because of my imagination, but it was because of literal looks and stares and, that kind of, what is she doing here? Or when I have to move my belly out of the way to do some kind of spinal twist, or, my thighs are a little bigger or, something. So I got to move some meat, or something like that. Well, I learned from my fabulous teacher how to work around body parts and a little extra fluff and things like that come with bodies that are of certain ages sometimes, and sometimes when we've had a child or two, and things like that. Our bodies change and they're different, and I've learned how to adapt using straps, blocks, bolsters, and I would say that my goal is almost to specialize in teaching people how to use props. A lot of, especially African American women, we have booties. So what do you do for that? You see what I'm saying? Because laying flat on your back, quiet as kept, is not an easy thing when you already have cushion back there. Your behind already serves as a bolster pillow. So what do you do to even that out? And there are props for that. There are things that we do to adjust for those body types, for rounder bodies, for for extra honey pot loving, kind of bodies and stuff. And so, I guess it's just that I wanted to make sure that people understood that your body, we can adapt whatever posture it is to your body. And I may say things to you like, okay, you need to pick your stomach up and move it out of the way. You need to put this bolster under your back, to fill in the gap between your lower back and the floor, because those are real life situations. You also have to when we look at things like heavy chested women, we make adaptations for that. So that's the body end of it. Now, the other way that a lot of people of color, because we all know how social situations work as far as finances and things like that. So I don't really think we need to cover that. If I need to cover that, let me know. But for the most part, there's a bigger disparity financially for people of color. So another thing that kind of squeezes us out as a population from yoga is the high prices of going to studios. Most of us cannot afford to go to the studio. My unlimited membership at the studio I was going to was actually one of the lowest, and it was $89 for unlimited membership. That did not include workshops. They were not willing to give me a discount for me to take a teacher training with them, although I had been paying $100 a month every month for, $89 a month every month for a very lengthy amount of time. I still could not get any discounts or anything else or whatever. And so the thing is that that's another thing that also squeezes us out of being able to take constant yoga classes. It's just not accessible. So if you add to the financial inaccessibility, then you add to going into a room full of a lot of times very slim, bendy body types. Then you add to that being, the black girl, the only black girl in the class, and when it's like people whip around and they kind of eyeball you the entire time. I don't know if, what that's about, but it happens. It's not imagined. There's whole websites and articles, all over the place dedicated to it if you choose to research that. So I'm not going to pay a whole lot of money to go be eyeballed, feel like the fattest thing in the class because there's no diversity, and all those kind of things that you have to endure. Because after all, a lot of times we have to endure those things in everyday life. Yoga is supposed to be the one place where everybody feels accepted. Yoga is supposed to be the one place where you feel that you fit. So for me, my particular calling is to my community. My particular calling is to access those populations of people of color that have not been previously, exposed to yoga. My job is to make it accessible. My job is to make them feel invited. My job is to make them feel comfortable and welcome and loved and do all those things. So that's pretty much my topic for tonight. People of color in yoga. We're entitled to be in shape. We also can be in shape. We also can be bendy and stretchy and all those things. Whether it means moving my fat roll out of the way, whether it means, sitting in a chair to access a position, whether it means using a bolster in 5 blocks. The other day I did a class with my friend, and we had to hook 2 straps together. No problem. No embarrassment necessary. It's all love. We do what needs to be done. I'm not the least bit concerned about how fluffy and fabulous you are. We're just trying to get into this yoga position, and do it in love and keeping pride and integrity and all that good stuff intact. We're trying to keep everything sweet and honey. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much all I wanted to cover tonight. I'm going to be doing videos that are more geared toward my business at this point. which honestly for me would probably still encompass just about everything, because it's Odoyale Wellness. So that'll encompass anything to do with my diet, child rearing, all those things, because those are the things that I cover. Just so you know what types of services I offer. Of course, we do yoga. So under the heading of yoga, right now my main thing is beginner yoga, because most of the people that I'm around that are interested, that have shown interest in the class, are beginners. So we're doing beginner vinyasa. And I also am going to be offering a yin or restorative class. Most of the time the vinyasa classes are an hour. The yin or restorative classes usually are about 2 hours. And they'll usually be in the evening. Restorative, just so that you understand what that is, has more to do with a focus on stretching. It's much more floor work. It's not so much standing up and doing those kind of poses. Most of the poses are floor work, and the difference is that you get into a posture and you stay in it from 7 to 10 minutes, which means that we will do less postures, but we'll hold them longer. So what happens when you hold a posture longer, is that you find that over time, over those minutes passing, you can go deeper into the posture. And if nothing else, you can get more comfortable in the posture. And my only rule for yoga, well, I have a few rules, but one of my main rules rather, are that I want you to be comfortable. I want you to let me know when you need help. And we don't do the no pain, no gain. If it hurts, you stop. Stretching and pain are not one and the same. Then I offer coaching. So my coaching classes are geared toward transitional diets, which do not mean vegan, not necessarily. I mean, if that's your goal, that's great. But I'm just there to kind of hold your hand and help you, and say, yeah, you can do it, and give you the tools and the resources that you need. And depending on which package you choose under any of I'll tell you the other coaching packages, but within all of them is also included at least I'm sorry, with the long term, when it's like a month, you'll also get a yoga class every week, so that's included. So it'll be the transitional diet, it'll be I need to be looking on my website right now. A parenting class is also included. What I'm looking for with the parenting class is actually, I want to gear it more toward teenagers, because I feel like a lot of times we judge teenagers based on what we assume they know. And most of the time, they didn't plan on getting pregnant, and it just kind of happens. And then we expect for them just to have this download of information into their brains to know how to parent, and it's just not reality. But I feel like somebody needs to be willing to put in the time to teach them how to parent, and how to parent peacefully. Because sometimes when you already don't know what you're doing, and then you don't have productive support around you, it leads to frustration, which sometimes can lead to different levels of child abuse. What will also be included in that course, in that coaching, is things like how to use certain herbal remedies for simple things, or just not so much. What I found myself doing was lazy parenting. So teaching them how to communicate, teaching how to speak from their true intention to their child, and things like that. And then I also have a set of workshops, and I have like mother-daughter workshops. We have waist beads, a workshop about waist beads, and a whole lot of stuff like that. So that one, how to do personal cleansings, how to do house blessing type cleansings, things like that. The workshop part will always be changing. As I learn things, I like to teach them. I'm a teacher above all. No, I'm a student first, honestly. I love learning. So because I love learning, I love teaching. So that'll be ever changing. And I also offer pretty much whatever people ask me for. A lot of times people say, can you learn this so you can teach it to us? So that's kind of how that whole thing comes about. And so as I learn, I will teach. So I just wanted to do a video this time instead of doing a actual typed up blog, just because this was going to take too long to type, and I felt like the blog would be so long that y'all wouldn't want to read it. So I did this instead. And my videos will continue to probably be unedited, uncut, because I think that y'all need to get to know me the way I am, and this is the way I am. Feel free to look through my videos, but just understand and just know and be clear that this channel has grown with me. So the commonly held beliefs and behaviors that I may have had on my first videos, I have grown either more into them or grown totally away from them. So that's called humanity. That too is yoga, is learning to detach and grow and move and swell and contract and do all those things. So thank you so much for watching. This is Fashayo from Odoyale Wellness, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Odabo.